Iga Swiatek locks 2026 season opener, while Sabalenka not allowed at tournament. ATP and WTA events may be finished for 2025, but excitement for 2026 is rising after Monday's United Cup draw. Perth and Sydney will again host round-robin play with 18 teams before the knockout rounds in Sydney decide the champion. As expected, Iga Swiatek has already committed to the team event, with Poland's lineup including Katarzyna Kawa, Katarzyna Pajder, Hubert Hurkacz, Daniel Michalski and Jan Zielinski. Even though strong rivals like Aryna Sabalenka cannot compete, Iga Swiatek's coach, Wim Fissette, has explained why the team tournament is now the most important event for the Polish star as she prepares for the Australian Open. In an exclusive interview with Sport.pl, Iga Swiatek's coach, Wim Fissette, was asked if they considered skipping the national team event at the start of the new season to focus on individual tournaments. He replied, "Not really," and then added, "The United Cup 2025 was my first tournament with Iga. I also accompanied her at the WTA Finals 2024, but then I was more observant of what was happening." Fissette went on to explain what he witnessed during the event. "During the national team games in Australia, I saw the joy on her face every day when she played for her country and was able to be part of the team. Throughout the year, the tennis player plays individual tournaments only for themselves. This is a completely different type of energy," he said. He continued by describing the value the tournament offers Iga. "We treat the United Cup as a kind of variety, because the rest of the year will be similar. It's a great way to start the season, and Iga really likes this tournament. She will play at least a few matches again. There was no reason to change it, and that is why we agreed together to join the United Cup again." Iga Swiatek has never missed the United Cup since it was introduced. Her earlier preparation for the Australian Open looked different. Before the 2022 Australian Open, she played in Adelaide and reached the semi-finals. In 2021, during the pandemic season, she entered the WTA 500 in Melbourne, losing in the third round before competing in the Grand Slam. In 2020, she did not play any lead-up tournament before the Australian Open. In her debut season in 2019, she failed to qualify for the event in Auckland. The United Cup changed her routine completely. Fissette stressed that the tournament has become one of her favorites. The event also gives her the chance to face top players early in the season. This year, she will compete against names like Coco Gauff, Elena Rybakina, Karolina Muchova and Katie Boulter. These matches help set a strong tone before the first Grand Slam of the year. However, Swiatek's approach to the United Cup is not common in women's tennis. Top Russian and Belarusian players are also absent from team competitions. Their national teams remain excluded from events such as the Billie Jean King Cup and the Davis Cup. This decision followed the ongoing tension involving Ukraine and Russia. The United Cup debuted nearly a year after the conflict started, which meant these players never had a chance to join. As a result, stars like Aryna Sabalenka, Mira Andreeva, Ekaterina Alexandrova and Victoria Azarenka have not participated. Sabalenka instead chose events such as Brisbane in recent years and Adelaide in 2023. And now, with the scheduling drama already ongoing, Iga Swiatek has made another controversial choice in her calendar, adding more chaos to an already tense tennis season. Iga Swiatek confirms participation in the December exhibition event. During this year's China Open, Iga Swiatek spoke openly about the busy tennis calendar. "Well, when I look at the schedule, I think we're playing too much, and the schedule is crazy," she said. Despite the difference between competition matches and exhibition events, she has now confirmed another exhibition appearance. The world number 2 ended her 2025 season last week by helping Poland defeat Romania and qualify for next year's Billie Jean King Cup. But fans will still see her again in 2025, as she has agreed to play an exhibition event in December. She will travel to Shenzhen, China, for the World Tennis Continental Cup from December 26 to 28. Instead of resting before heading to Australia, Swiatek will spend additional time competing in China. This raises concerns about fatigue or potential injury before the new season officially begins. Her decision adds pressure to an already demanding schedule. However, with the updated United Cup schedule now confirmed, do you think the trip to China could affect the Polish star's ability to perform at her highest level at the United Cup and then the Australian Open? The 2026 tennis season was supposed to begin with fireworks, new kits, fresh courts, a new year of possibilities. But instead, it began with a storm. Not the predictable kind that rolls in from the Australian coastline every January, but a political, emotional, and sporting storm swirling around two of the biggest names in tennis, Iga Swiatek and Aryna Sabalenka. One was welcomed. One was denied. And everyone wanted to know why. Chapter 1: The Quiet Confirmation. Iga Swiatek's announcement came early on a sleepy November morning. Her 2026 season would open at the Pacific Bay International, a relatively new tournament in Southeast Asia that had transformed itself into the pre-Australian Open proving ground. The event had everything Swiatek loved: hard courts with a slow bounce, humid air that rewarded physical grinders, and a venue known for treating its stars like royalty. The press release floated through tennis media with predictable enthusiasm. Iga Swiatek brings world number 1 power to Pacific Bay opener. Swiatek chooses stability to kick off her 2026 campaign. Three-time Australian Open champion returns to her favorite warm-up event. Nothing unusual. Nothing surprising. Until the second announcement. Chapter 2: The Shockwave. Just hours later, whispers spread across social media. Sabalenka not allowed to play Pacific Bay. No one knew what the reason was at first. A visa issue? Politics? Tournament policy? Internal federation dispute? Within minutes, journalists were scrambling for answers. And for once, the WTA didn't have a prepared statement. A line in the official player entry list stood out like a broken string. Aryna Sabalenka, entry denied. 2 words that ignited the entire tennis world. Denied? Denied how? Denied why? Fans speculated wildly in the comment sections. Some cried foul play. Others wondered if Sabalenka had refused conditions. A few theorized drama between tournament organizers. No one realized how deep the story ran until the next day. Chapter 3: Behind Closed Doors. According to multiple reports, the Pacific Bay International had quietly revised its athlete eligibility guidelines. Nothing illegal. Nothing overtly political. Just a series of clauses that, when read carefully, squeezed out a handful of players whose teams didn't meet new compliance protocols. Sabalenka's team, unsurprisingly, refused to comment. But someone close to her, speaking off the record, dropped one line that set the internet ablaze. Aryna didn't break rules. The rules were built to break Aryna. Suddenly, it wasn't about eligibility. It wasn't about paperwork. It was a story, the kind that grows legs, tail, teeth, and fire.